Hello there. My name is James Richard Campbell. I am the CEO and editor-in-chief of the Aero-News network. Also run Aero-TV, Kindred, Spirit Press, and a number of other operations that are all dedicated to covering the best and brightest in the aviation and aerospace arena. And truth be told, it's given me the opportunity to have the job I've always wanted, to do the things that I want to do within the aviation and aerospace spectrum, to work with the people I admire, to fly the aircraft that intrigue me, and to take on all kinds of adventures that when I was a kid I could dream of, but as I became an adult became less and less likely. That is until I got involved, in particular, with a concept called the XPRIZE. It's been well over 10 years ago now. A fellow by the name of Greg Marinac, a fellow who inspired Peter Diamandis to start the XPRIZE by giving him a book about the Orteig Prize that ultimately inspired Charles Lindbergh to cross the Atlantic. Well, a meeting at Oshkosh between the three of us started a series of adventures that goes on till this day. And within a year or two of that particular meeting gave me some of the most extraordinary adventures of my life. It has culminated now with the upcoming 10th anniversary of the winning of the XPRIZE with a book called Beyond the Blue. Beyond the Blue describes what happens when you transition beyond the bulk of the Earth's atmosphere, becoming exo-atmospheric, when you get beyond that to that very dark blue, even black realm that lies beyond the atmosphere, beyond the blue, so to speak. Beyond the Blue is an insider's look to one of the most extraordinary private enterprises in recent history. I can't believe, even now, 10 years later, that we accomplished what we did. But more important than that, I'm excited about what we might accomplish from here on out. So, this is my pitch. I want you to buy my book, and I want you to buy my book for one specific reason. I'm hoping you're going to be as inspired, ultimately, as I was, to do great things with your lives, to go beyond what you thought was normal or proper or possible. As one of Peter Diamandis' right-hand people, I had the opportunity to go places and do things that sometimes even Peter didn't get a chance to do. We flew formation with spaceships. We started the Rocket Racing League. I got a chance to fly in zero-G with Buzz Aldrin on his first flight in zero gravity since he'd gotten back from the moon decades before. I got to watch Professor Stephen Hawking become freer than he had been in many years and experience zero gravity for himself. I watched the XPRIZE Cup, an event where thousands of people came together to see rockets fly, to see robotic landers undertake phenomenally difficult missions. Add it all up, and especially with the addition of the Google Lunar XPRIZE, which may in fact be won in the next year or so, and you see the fact that this XPRIZE revolution was more than a singular event. It was a series of evolutionary steps that created the revolution I've been talking about for the last few minutes. Beyond the Blue shows it all. It starts out with early XPRIZE. And matter of fact, it's got a foreword by Peter Diamandis, in which he admits he gets a chance finally to talk about the beginnings of the XPRIZE, how difficult it was, what a struggle it was to keep the organization together. Here he talks about the things that, well, he's never talked about before. But most of all, it's a lot of photography, a fair amount of narrative, but it's photography of Mike Melville's first flight into space. It's the opportunity to see Bert and Mike work together, the crews that undertook all this. It's the first XPRIZE qualifying flight, the second XPRIZE qualifying and winning flight. It's the celebration in St. Louis some weeks later, where the $10 million check was awarded. And most important of all, allows you to celebrate, along with everybody else, the extraordinary achievements of the last 10 years. Beyond the Blue will be a hardcover, almost 170 pages of book. It'll be a $40 book, $39.95. For those of you who are looking for a signed and numbered special edition, of which there are only going to be 1,000 or so, that'll be 100. But I hope you will take a chance at looking at what we're doing, be inspired by what so inspired myself and so many others, to take Beyond the Blue for yourself, to read it, absorb it, inspire your own life. And whether it leads to space, or whether it leads to oceans, or whether it leads to ecological interests or other forms of innovation, I hope it will inspire you to expand your life, because the XPRIZE did that for me. And that's why this book is so intensely personal, so intensely important, and frankly, why I'm incredibly proud of where it is right now. We hope you'll enjoy the book as much in reading and experiencing it as I did, both in writing and researching, and obviously with all the events that put me in the places that I was. We'll look forward to hearing what you think of Beyond the Blue. And just so you know, there's a lot more where this came from. You ain't seen nothing yet. But then again, that describes all things XPRIZE. What did you expect? Thank you.